Radiant team, Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
Faceless Void.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Behold the Horn of Magnus.
Spectre. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Welcome back, everybody, here to ESL 1 Germany. It's time for us to reveal our DHL drop quiz answer for day number 12. Usually we goof around with the stuff that you guys can win here, but this is something that you cannot goof around with. I've got my lovely i9 processor here from Intel. It's an amazing processor, and you guys can win this by being a part of our DHL drop quiz. So let's throw up the answer for day number 12 here. It is interesting one. It's 6. So if you guys want to read off what these images could be.
Let's see, like a phantasm illusion, a wall of replica, conjure image or reflection, doppelganger, dark portrait.
Okay, so Matt's pretty bad at this. I was expecting him to be a little bit better at this, lad. So everybody that's playing along at home, graphical types of illusions are illusions that look different to you as you use them. Like doppelwalk, you've got the mantra illusions, you've got dark portrait, reflection.
I don't micro, all right?
All that
I'm not about
stuff.
that life.
So there's 6 of them for those you guys playing along at home. That is not included in your default model. If you guys want to look them up, they're up on the wiki there. But lads, game number 2, Nigma 5 men. We've got a draft underway here. What are we expecting? What's something special?
Well, we saw how the map was prioritized, right, in game number 1, so I feel like that's probably going to be the same case. The bans, I mean, 5 men, they don't really have to change anything. It worked out in their favor. Yes, we have a good lane, but it wasn't that honestly, he did dominate the lane, but Chessie still got so much out of it. That's the thing.
Yeah, I feel like the execution era for Nigma should be a little bit more simplified, just because they don't really playing to their usual form. And I mean, as we can see here, I think this works pretty nicely. Magnus versus Void. It's one of those heroes, Mac, that they can actually flex it pretty. Position 5 as well as position 3. Sometimes we see Mind Control playing middle with the Magnus
10
pick
seconds
as well.
remaining.
So it's going to be pretty good for them because this is something they're comfortable with. Obviously, the Faceless
5
Void is just a
seconds
high win
remaining.
rate pick right now in this tournament. I think it's over %. And
Mag's
it's one
on
of
the
those
other end of the scale, though.
True that. 25, right?
Yeah, something pretty low, like 30, 25. Most of the time, though, it is mind control. So I think lanes, yes, you can switch that up a little bit, but I haven't been super convinced when I've seen RMN play it. And the thing is that they had the first pick overall, so they chose that. They had the side selection, they chose first pick, and then Radiant went.
Radiant team pick.
I'm liking the bans though here by Nigma. They've respected a lot of the heroes that 5-man have normally played in the past, as well as in the previous game. Lone Druid is Zeus. But yeah, I mean, right now we've been seeing a lot of this early pick carries currently in
10
ESL in the
seconds
previous
remaining.
hits, BTS Pro Series, and it just seemed pretty simplified
5
because you picked a
seconds
hero,
remaining.
you flex it around your other picks, and you just draft it according and adapting according to the enemy picks.
Yeah, and I think they're just trying to take away a lot of the ease of execution as well from the 5-man end, right? Like, you've got a Faceless Void, get rid of the Snapfire, get rid of the Lena, some stuff that's easy to just pump in damage into that Chronos. Same thing with the Bat Rider and Viper, it's just comfort, right? That they don't want to be giving away.
But yeah, same bans as well. 5-man here. You don't want to give Weeha the Vipers, you want to give Adra. I felt he played a really good Lena last game, but it was
Got rid of it.
Yep. But yeah, right now it's
Dire
like
team pick.
you're gonna have to give him a hero he's not gonna be extremely comfortable on. I mean, you can go back to Invoker Quazo X picks that he used to play. He used to mainly play X or Invoker, but it's a pretty good hero here that you can pair up with the Faceless Void. You play this buffer strat with the Cyclone EAP as your kind of reactive
10
spell.
seconds
Obviously,
remaining.
doesn't necessarily have to win the lane, you just have to really create space.
Five
And this axe pick,
seconds
we've seen
remaining.
5-men do this before where they play Misery in the 4 axe, something a little bit unconventional, but you would think with this Phoenix that that's mostly likely going to be hero, so Sibir probably picking. But it's a little bit of flexibility, you know, they can change things up depending on the lanes, and we saw how important that lane setup is in game.
Yep, well, thing is I would like them to have some sort of power up with it, because right now it is flexy, it can be 3, you can all 5, but if you do put it as a position, Phoenix's position 5, you want that hero that can set up for him. Either it be starting the fight so
Radiant
that he can
team
follow
pick.
up with his call, either it be just for example, we see in the past where Secret used the Wyvern per start to fight for the axe to follow up. And that was about a year ago, I'd say.
Yeah.
So there are definitely some skills here. It seems like they're going for this kind of ideas last game. It's going to be 4 axe, and then Zibe is most likely going to be playing the position of Venomance. Pretty nice,
Yeah.
because against Faceless Void, you want a hero that can constantly pressure. I would like to see the double ring
10 seconds remaining.
Yes.
forward. That would be very helpful versing a hero like Venomancer.
Because you can't just time walk off the
5
damage, right? It's
seconds
Venomancer.
remaining.
It's lots of slow damage over time. You get him running away. You can even get that battle hunger leveled up as well. So we're not going to see counter helix super maxed out on the axe. I think this is one of those games. I suppose there's a bit less of the potential because Paladar, you would assume, is going to be playing the Phoenix, where
Dire
you
team
can
back.
give a bit more farm away to the other support if they need it, right?
All right, here we
All
go.
you really need is the blink dagger.
We got GH here. Who are we? So we're looking like a Mind Control Magnus, either it be middle or in the off lane. Their lanes though are not that strong right now. It just seems like they're just
10
trying to
seconds
play,
remaining.
get something out of the lane, and then play for their timings, which would
5 seconds
Faceless Void
remaining.
Chronosphere or just farming with
Radiant
power.
team ban.
It's going to be a similar playstyle, I feel, whereas 5-men, they play very
Okay.
fast. We've seen it before, they play extremely fast lineups, controlling and choking out, and I think their playstyle is very good against Nigma style because you want to just slow down as Nigma and just farm, but 5-men doesn't allow that.
Yeah, they play a fast lineup. Obviously,
10
Spectre not
seconds
the
remaining.
fastest hero, and Ace as well likes to build Midas into it. But the thing is, he goes like
5 seconds
Midas,
remaining.
Manta, Abyssal. So wanting to get super aggressive super early on so that you can
Dire
get those
team
backline
back.
pickoffs and you know, potentially just game off of a 30-minute game.
Yeah, and the big difference is that you can always use this global presence, which Fivemen have used a lot in the past. They've used the Nature's Prophet, they've used this. They're very comfortable playing these kind of global presence heroes.
And Nigma have banned out those heroes, right,
Yep.
to prevent that. So I think good respect coming from the
10
Nigma side, so I'm
seconds
appreciating
remaining.
that. I'm still kind of favoring the 5-man draft though, so
Me too. They have
5
strong lanes,
seconds
very easy to
remaining.
kind of execute. Their late game is just as strong. You just have to really be
Radiant
careful of
team
this
ban.
big ulti Chronosphere as a RP. But if
Dire
they
team pick.
get control like they did in the last game, it's going to be even easier out here.
And you've got the last pick overall for, we would assume, Chessie's hero.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
seen how dominant he is. Tiny's not banned out, but
And remember, this last game was a game where he got solo killed twice by Weeha, and he had an amazing farm, amazing impact in the
10
game.
seconds
Now imagine a
remaining.
game where he's going to start from ahead. That's what I'm worried about.
yeah.
Five
What are we thinking for these
seconds
final
remaining.
picks, and lads? You talked about this Weeha Chessie matchup, and we feel like these are the last two.
Radiant
key
team
of them. A lot of the cheese picks being taken down here for Weeha, so he's going to go back to
I
the
called
Booker.
it.
Yeah.
I called it, boys.
Okay, so we're going
I
to
mean,
see
it's-
some classics from all
All
of
right,
these players.
I'd like to
Easy
see
to
a
execute.
tiny middle here.
Yeah.
I predict.
Well, they banned out the Ricky here on 5 men, so they don't have that quick and easy counter. But what is there anything outside of the Tiny you guys can
10
think of? You know, we
seconds
still
remaining.
pains that are hanging around. There's still some spirits left in
I
there.
want
Yeah, we still
a
Five
got
hero that
seconds
can
remaining.
set up fights or just be the secondary initiator. Right now, we're looking mostly at a position for Axe. You don't really have that fast blink timings, right? So that's why we want Chessie here on a fast hero that can do well in the lane, can rotate to the side lanes, create that pressure, and as well be someone who can get the back line in the later stages of the game.
Puck's not bad. Puck's not bad either. I feel like
pretty good
Puck
here.
works.
Yeah, really good at silencing up that Faceless Void, getting these combos off. You can very easily hit a nice Dream Coil as well when people are trying to hit the egg. That's the big thing that I'm scared about, right? Yes, there's a ton of burst damage and teamfight and wombo combo potential on Nigma, but it's just the same. Like, you drop an egg in a vulnerable spot, blink call, suddenly the fight's completely turned around.
40 seconds. One thing we didn't point out is Nigma was running out of time pretty early. It's, the second phase picked. Or just down to their reserve time in most.
Is there? Do you have to keep thinking about this GH Rubik here if you're 5 men to make sure you don't give the bells? Like, you know, if you pick up the puck here, you always have to be careful of the Rubik turning it back around with the Dream. Waning Rift. Puck.
Choose
Everyone's
your
going to
go.
go for the puck. All right, lads, look like you guys are pretty hot and heavy here when it comes to your predictions. But you guys can predict the winner's going to be 5 man versus Nigma, game number 2, lads. How are we feeling about these drafts so far?
Well, based off the first game, my game score predictions when it comes to Nigma games is now 1-8, so I'm not feeling too confident, but I'm liking the 5-man draft. I think it's, you know, very good at most stages of the game, and they've got, you know, reasonable matchups in all three.
How do you feel about this draft, Darcy, from both these teams?
I feel like with Nigma, it just comes down to execution. I think the last game they could have won. It's just they underperformed, and 5 men have been playing really well. And I think this is a lineup where they come online really quick. Nigma needs timing, which kind of pretty hard in a game like this where they can't really win lane. So I'm
Yeah.
going back to 5 men this time.
All right, we'll see. It looks like the GG bet odds have swung in the favor here of 5 men after the game 1 victory. So, lads, predictions, one team name each before we
men.
head into it. 5 men. All right, looks like my boys here on the panel are going to give us a 2-0 here for 5 men. So we're going to leave it with our casters for game number 2. It's going to be Gaza.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And if the panel's to be believed, Lacoste, it's going to be a 2-0 victory for 5 men here. How are you feeling about this, though? Because there's a Void and a Magnus on Team Nigma.
Yeah, this is the lineup that should not be underestimated. Even if things are not going well, all you need is like one decent Chronosphere. Eventually, Invoker will get that Aghanim Scepter, and there is not a save, not a single save on 5 men. You know, there's no disruption, no Vibert, anything Oracle, nothing that can disrupt the team fight, save anyone who's caught inside the Chronosphere. And every single time I see it, I feel like Faceless Void is just having a free game.
Yeah, it looks like, and when he's paired up with a Witch Doctor, right, he's got the addition of the Maledict and the Death Ward to be able to bring down a Spectre, for example, in this game especially. Inside that Chronosphere, as we get ourselves into game 2. 5 men, 1-0 up against Team Nigma so far.
Prepare
They
for
go back
battle.
for their Venomancer, but a completely different draft outside of that for them, as they've got a position for Axe for Misery, something he's pulled out from time to time. We'll see exactly how well he can do. And a Chessie Puck, moving away from his Tinies and his Zeuses and things like that, giving him a bit more of a mobile hero to be able to catch up to that Spectre as they jump around the map.
Yeah, they needed a hero that has a good catch, has a good reach. Besides Axe, You know, it's a position 4 Axe. You said it, Misery ran it before as position 4. I believe they won that game, but still, the Blink Dagger didn't come online as fast as it should, but still managed to work around it. But with the puck, they have a guaranteed lockdown and something that Faceless Void does not like to play into, coil, and any kind of
30
silence.
seconds to battle.
Yeah, I think that Axe game he went for Earn and Tranquils first and then back into Blink. The Misery +4 Axe changed up his items at will. It looks like Team Nigma going for a bit of a shift around though. We on that Invoker is up at top lane with a side lane item build. Magnus is ready mid with pooled tangos. So it looks like they're trying to put the Invoker against the Veno, have that Quas sustain up against all that damage over time. Magnus, the melee hero against the Puck, can probably farm and do reasonably well. But for me, this aggressive Troy lane is the interesting part. Witch Doctor, Rubik, and Void.
I mean, they should pressure Spectre a lot, Faceless Void, unless they decide to put the Witch Doctor on top. I see RMN going towards the top lane, so it might just be a standard 2 versus 2. I don't think Invoker would get much farm against Venomancer. Yeah, you said it, he's going to have enough sustain coming on from Quaswags, but he also needs someone to deal with Axe.
And we know how oppressive this lane can be with Battle Hunger plus all of that poison from Zibe. We will have the backup from RMN, like you said. Witch Doctor makes a nice little wander up to the top lane. Already going to throw a Maledict in onto Misery. Trading hits with a Battle Hunger, though. Misery is getting a lot of damage here onto RMN. Seconds for another spell. Misery won't be able to give chase under tier 1. Already setting the standard in this lane for how the regen trading is going to go, at least.
Once they get level 2 in this lane, I think they can get an easy kill. Like Venomancer, he puts a point in Venomous Gale, it's just so much slow.
Positioning from RMN is going to have to be key here as they do make a move onto Zibe. A little over-eager there to get that aggressive harassment and damage over time. He's going to tick low, but he's got a salve to fall back on, so he'll be able to stick around in lane. And we can take a quick peek while they are regening up into the mid lane, where 8-0 Magnus and 8-2 Puck are just farm trading. Doesn't feel like there's going to be too much kill threat there unless a rotation happens. And then down bottom, Pilot Die taking a beating from Miracle and GH. And Ace just trying to keep the farm rate up as he is even in the CS.
Phoenix
Tied up
only
with
level 1,
Miracle,
just
but
got
they
2.
do. Telekinesis him back. Levels up the dive now. The bash from Miracle. Nicely timed on the retreat there as the Phoenix survive and salve yet again.
I don't think we're going to see a kill on a mid lane. Mind Control with the Bracer has a healing salve. I also see a bottle queued up. That means he's going to have enough sustain to get through any kind of harassment coming out from Puck. So maybe we should just look at the top lane RMN. Like, they want to kill him so badly. Whenever Misery has a Battle Hunger, he's going to throw on him. Venomancer still saving a point to see if he needs to put the point in Venomous Gale. Because right now the lane is pushing towards their tower, so 5 men can't play aggressively on top.
And it's always nice to be able to go into your Plague Wards a little earlier. Once Zibe gets done. Does get the Gale now. After this wave is cleared, could go towards RMN. Witch Dogs are pretty far forward. Misery is the one that's being forced away. These other lanes, like you said, you know, mid lane, pretty calm. Not much happening there. Just farming away. Everyone's pretty happy to get into those early bottles. And it's going to be the mid laners that make those first rotations really work for themselves. Puck especially very good at TPing to these side lane tier 1s. Looking for those turnaround plays. Try and get some use out of that Dream Coil once Chesty does hit level 6.
Misery going for Courier.
Dire's courier has been
Speedy
killed.
Demon, not so speedy after all. And Misery right now just juggling because Venomancer's farming underneath the tower. B has a tornado, but it's pretty short range.
Yeah, so Zibe just going to rely on those tangos to heal back up. Misery with Tranquil Boots should be able to get himself a decent amount of experience.
BH forced to TP out on the bottom. Dive from Phoenix and Spectre.
Top lane. Maledict with the stun. Misery caught up in the cold snap. Zibe's trying to turn a bit of damage back onto Wee, but Misery's going to pop here, it looks like. One more touch. He's going to try and tango away. There's no way he survives this. The final hit comes through, and RMN claims up that first blood for himself.
RMN gets the first blood. RMN, you know what it stands for? This is actually Rudy playing on his account. Rudy modernized Nigma.
Yeah, he modernized the team for sure. Everyone's a big Super Rudy fan now. How many more have you got? How many more RMN acronyms do you have?
I'll try to think of something else.
Very good.
We being dived by Axe. Like, I think Axe can afford to try to farm jungle a bit while Venomancer puts more points in the Plague Wards. And RMN's positioning, he's been really well this game. Like, he understood I need to stand back so much further away from my Invoker because they're not gonna go on him. Even if they do, I'm just gonna use a cask. But if they go on me, like, I'm 99% dead.
Well, Chessie coils up mind control, sneaks away with one of his bounty runes.
Are scanning.
He's going to get the second bounty rune off to the west side as well, it looks like. Scan doesn't connect, so they know that nobody's got to steal it away from them. And that leaves MC with an empty bottle. And GH moves back down bottom, trying to get in there to defend the bounty runes, and RMN being chased into the dire jungle. He's got a lot of damage over time on him. Wee's going to try and come in, maybe for a deny. The Gale, it expires, and it looks like RMN barely survived until the second Battle Hunger arrives.
RMN is fine.
And he's got 3-1 charges and a Fairy Fire. He is absolutely fine, you are correct. As always, the cost.
He might not even pop it. Yeah, this man, very cold-blooded. The extra regeneration kicking in from the tower, actually keeping him alive.
Dire are scanning.
Blooded Killer. And another rune for Puck. Chessie has had pretty much full rune control here. Invis rune with Dream Coil coming back up. TPs are ready. Definitely ready for Chessie to make that first move. It looks like he was thinking about mind control there, but it will be the wraparound in towards bottom lane. As that wave reaches the tier 1 down there, Catapult arrives for Void. GH making the move in onto Phoenix with a dive away, saving Twilight Guy while Ace is getting bashed up, and the arrival of Chessie's Puck. Dream Coil up onto GH with a silence from the Waiting Rift, orbing forward, but it's not enough damage. Chessie comes in with everything he's got, but RMN's rotation will make sure to keep the Puck away from this bot lane for now.
Because bottom lane is going well, Faceless Void goes straight for the Mask of Madness, and they start to play aggressively. Like Spectre, she needs to be careful. If there's no Puck rotation, I don't think Faceless Void dies to like Spectre and Phoenix 3 points in Bash, and they also want to leave some solo XP to Faceless Void so he gets a Chronosphere, and then they can start pressuring Spectre even more.
And they do leave the Invoker top alone. And Zui seems pretty comfortable against Zibe for now. He's going to try and make that rotation again. Tranquils to that Urn of Shadows. And the blink should come immediately after for Misery. Ace farming onto tower now, 40 CS. A little bit behind the Faceless Void, but not a drastic amount whatsoever. But we should see a lot more use out of that Void once he gets level 6 with the Mom you mentioned and the Chrono as soon as he gets up there.
Even Mag came and actually empowered Faceless Void on bottom to possess more kill threat. He's just 2 CS away from Chrono. There's a rotation from Witch Doctor. The problem is they don't know that he's gonna hit 6 right now. There's the Chrono.
And he throws the Chrono straight away. Phoenix gets caught out. Dream Coil down, and they do silence up the Void. The trade back is coming as long as they can get the final bit of damage, but the time walk out. Miracle still gonna get slowed down. The battle hunger is there. And there's no escape for the Void this time around as RMN tries to get a bit of damage onto Ace. The Maledict is gonna pop, and that's a good trade. 2 for 2. And all things considered, not too bad.
Radiant's middle tower.
Because
is under
RMN
attack.
turned in actually landed that Maledict on Spectre, it's a decent trade for Nigma. Otherwise, it would not be worth it. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, Magnus just continues to farm. Even though he is a mid laner, he's still gonna go for the offlane type of the items where he gets the bottle, gets arcane boots for more mana sustain, since he will be spamming that empower. And I see Blink Dagger queued up, just 1,000 gold away.
He should be that. Additional form of initiation. RP and Chrono. Pretty long cooldowns, so you do want to be cycling between those two abilities to try and win these team fights. Then see, smoked up with RMN. They know that this really slow, sluggy hero, the Venomancer, is probably just going to be farming the camp off to the side. And Zibe, I don't know if he needed the RP there, but it's going to definitely signal to the rest of 5 men that they shouldn't bother TPing to try and help.
Your life to try for my horn?
And now Faceless Void can continue to farm jungle with the Mask of Madness and the Empower, but Misery will be there. 3 points in Battle Hunger. Will pressure him a bit, but you can't really man-fight him.
Yeah, you can't go toe-to-toe with that Void.
Radiant are
Good Dire
scanning.
Observer up top, spots the puck. As Jesse coming in for some bounty runes.
Matriarch with prize.
Falls back to where mind control is, and even throws the Doom Coil in on him, so the stacks which are being made up by the Radiant team are contested by the Magnus to dive in with a Supernova, but a skewer away and Pylai Die not able to keep them all stuck in place. So the juke around the trees, and Jesse's dying to Death Ward. No phase shift means that the puck is gone. Now the turnaround onto RMN, it is the lowly Witch Doctor, which is traded back as Roshan killed off mind control, and Spectre with the Horn in. Not able to get anything more than just the RMN Witch Doctor.
An Axel will love and the Fountain because of the Tranquil Boots region and the Raindrop. It's a must-have item when you're playing against the Witch Doctor. Chronosphere will be back up in 10 seconds, so they need +1 on the bottom lane to try to get a kill on Spectre.
It would be nice to see the Witch Doctor come down there again with a Maledict. Will be the Rubik with the Magnus, though, as they chrono up the Spectre. 8-1 charges in the pocket of Ace, as he'll try and get out of this with a dagger off to the side. Through the trees he goes, and that Sunray keeping the Spectre topped up, allowing her to shovel. Bring up a Kobold. The salve comes in from the
Dire's
backpack.
middle tower
Ace
is
can
under
stick around.
attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under
Nigma.
attack.
GH also using a dagger, trying to find Ace.
Oh, it's going to
Where's
be
the follow-up?
close. Ace again with
Dire's
his dagger,
structures are fortified.
allowing him to get over the tree line. Through the forest he goes.
Dire's middle tower.
This means Chessie gets a lot of damage in onto the tier 1 mid lane, forcing the glyph.
Radiant's
Has
bottom
top the
tower
dive
is
in.
under
Misery
attack.
going to get death warded by RMN. Goes a little bit too deep there. Zibe wasn't able to commit to the dive himself.
Built by Chess, not even putting a single point in a phase shift.
Yeah, it showed in that last fight
Dire's
where he
middle
maybe
tower
could have phase
has
shifted
been
some of the
denied.
death ward damage. I guess against a Magnus, you know, melee hero, you don't necessarily need it.
Still, you need 1 point. Just 1 point, Gary, that's all it takes. You know, it's a 6-second cooldown, can dodge a lot of projectiles.
Man, just being able to like dodge a cask or something would be super handy for Chessie. Game seems pretty pivotal for 5 men. That they get the Spectre into a good position. Blade Mail there, pretty much completed for Ace. Will allow the Spectre to fight from an earlier stage than that Hand of Midas Manta Abyssal Blade, which we've been seeing a fair amount. Getting ready for top now, though. 5 men realizing that the tempo creator for Nigma is hiding under his top tier 1. Gets off an EMP and a cold snap onto Axe, and into the Invis he goes, but it's being dusted up.
Radiant's mid
5 men
tower
there,
is
take
under
down the
attack.
Invoker, and the reaction from Nigma is going to come into a Supernova. Pilot Eyes there, setting it up beautifully. The Death Ward's forced out, but Jesse is jumped in aggressively. Death Ward finally killed off. A 2 for 2. Do lose Veno and your Axe, and maybe even a Phoenix here as Miracle's rotations arrive. Faceless Void with the Mask of Madness going to try and bash away at the Phoenix. Highlight die. The first hit comes beautifully for Miracle. And he's also empowered to clear through the creep wave.
Even without Chronos here, Miracle still TPs to, you know, help out his team.
Dire's bottom
Chrono is
tower
ready in
is under
5
attack.
seconds. Let's see if someone decides to man up and PP's here. There's the Chrono.
Straight away.
Dies!
Doesn't even hesitate.
Radiant's top tower is
He's a
under
target.
attack.
Chrono's a target. He
Radiant
kills it as well.
structures are fortified.
You know, this looks stupid, but if you think about it, it's much better if he tanks the Chrono instead of a Spectre or Puck.
Dire's middle tower is under
You
attack.
deserve nothing.
Tactical Chrono baiting. Five men still mounting that defense on the top tier one. Nigma, they did bring 5 heroes top, to be fair. It was a lot of effort to come and try and help the Invoker win that team fight. Slight net worth lead for them now. 5 kills to the good.
Radiant are scanning.
But in the meanwhile,
Dire's
Ace
middle tower is under attack.
gets
Dire
free reign of
are
that bottom
scanning.
lane, just continues farming away. And in fact, it's 5 men who smoked to try and make this move.
Coil and Void.
The Haunt, and they've stopped the Void. He's in a lot of trouble here. Time might come up in time, but no. The Death Ward's out and focusing on the Spectre, who has Maledict on her. And an RP there from Mind Control, going to drag her back with a Skewer into the midst of all the rest of Nigma. So the Pos ones trade their lives for each other. And now we're left with a bunch of heroes that don't have any
Dire's
spells
top
left.
tower is under attack.
Once Puck gets a Blink Dagger, it's going to be much easier for them to
Dire's
initiate.
structures
Your
are
position
fortified.
3 doesn't provide any. Same goes for 4 and 5. Misery going for... You wanted to go for
Radiant's middle
Urn, but then
tower is
decided
under
to get Blade Mail into Blink.
Dire's top tower.
It's a lot of gold spent.
Radiant's middle
So
tower.
it's
has
almost a
fallen.
full Urn already done, but your Venomancer said, I'm going Spirit Vessel.
Well, Venomancer's getting jumped by the Void. And GH with a stolen Sunray burns through. That's Slimy Slugman. Miracle trying to lifesteal himself up through the Poison over in the Gale as they find Axe, who's lurking around. And Puck is blinking forward, coiling too, and slaying the Void. At the very least, 5 men count themselves a little lucky there that they do get the position 1 yet again.
Meanwhile, Mind Control continues to farm the bottom lane, having a decent amount of farm in this game. Very high level, level
Radiant's
12
bottom
already.
tower is
I
under
see
attack.
Pipe keeping up, just
Radiant
mitigate
structures are fortified.
magical damage coming out from Puck. And Phoenix also, Venomancer on top of that. Might even get a Guardian Greaves after that. You know, just beat that full utility.
Keep everyone sustained. Pangladai closes in a Meteor Hammer. Once he's finished that top wave, he should have it. Oh, GH giving him the old deny. Was he going to deny another one? Oh, okay. Never mind then, Pangladai will not have Meteor Hammer after that top wave. And then quickly looking down to bottom, we are... Oh, he was in position there. I don't know if he saw Misery. The Invoker unable to track back on the Axe. Is doing a great job hiding. Everybody wants to just calm down a little bit now, put Void back in the jungle. Sanjin Yasha on top of his Mask of Madness. As they jump top, Waning Rift into the coil, trying to burst through GH. This man seems way tankier than expected, though. Pops his stick charge in the Fairy Fire, dying with a Meteor Hammer. And there's a bit of payback with a deny from Wee. Beautifully timed, and now going on to the Venomancer with a snap. And EMP connecting. A lot of damage to Zippe, but no killing blow, no final threat on his life.
Faceless Foot can play a bit more active right now. He knows there's no coil. Should use that, try to grab a kill. Misery on the bottom. There's
Off
the
the
RP.
bottom. They find the jump. And the Death Ward with the Maledict on him. Misery's down to half HP, but they react quickly, snappily, decisive action. Misery dunks him down. Mind Control's gone, and the chase is on. To RMN, the Witch Doctor, who has the backup of the Chrono. Miracle's here. They've arrived with Void and the Rubik. Very defensive, though, from 5 men as they get a kill, they chase a little bit, and then they retreat.
Phoenix is also getting some decent levels. He's level 10, but once he gets to level 12, level 2 ulti, if they can zone out Faceless Void, just keep him in place. Other heroes don't really attack next.
That's true. a bit difficult for them.
Dire
Especially with bodyguards like Axe and Venomancer providing damage over time, the call, and all that sustain.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Wheeze Invoker from the side lane. He is level 11. Misery there with Berserker's Call to keep himself tanky. Still sniped down by the Tornado, but a clumsy net with a dagger forward, deafening blast to push them back. Venomancer's still going, but nothing to cancel the TP out, so wise decision from Wee.
Tower is under
That's one
attack.
problem that they have. The only stun is pretty much Puck Coil and level 1 Call by Axe, who does not have a Blink Dagger. Still 1,000 gold away. In terms of network game, pretty even. We didn't talk too much about Spectre, Blade Mail, working towards that Manta style. And if they get a good fight, once Spectre has Manta online, they can also get inside the pit and kill the Roche with the Desolate and Dispersion working on the illusions. Puck mid lane.
Yeah, and a Supernova there as well as they focus the egg. 4 heroes from Nigma take down Pilot Die, and they're trying to tornado anyone in the back as well, but Zippe and Chessie both making a swift retreat.
This wasn't really what we call Supernova, this was more like just Nova. You know, dying in a second. He needs to be careful about it. They also need to have like either Axe or Venomancer grouping around it, using Poison Nova to at least try to deal some damage, because they don't have the best ways to protect the egg.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Yeah, really
attack.
relying on this blink. And like you mentioned a couple of seconds ago, halfway towards it. Misery needs a bit more farm. Double Dire Observer Ward down bottom, quite interesting. One in the camp, one in the lane. Trying to keep these wards away from any sentries or dewarding that's happening. Those slotting out where Spectre has spent the majority of her last couple of minutes. Miracle gets away from a bit of a sun ray from Pilot Day, but also the threat of Chessie was there. Miracle incredibly farmed with this Empower on him. 11,000 net worth. He is at the top of the board, but they jump into mid. The Dream Call there on Witch Doctor. Missing out on Wee, though. Would have been a great jump if they found the Invoker, but the Death Ward there, and there's nothing to stop it. RMN just lets it go. Wild kill onto Zippe. Chessie does finally get the cross kill, but 5 men feel like they're forcing things a little bit too much now.
Miracle showed his Shadow Blade, so I'm not sure if he's gonna get a good jump, but if he can kill Axe, just delay his Blink Dagger, it's still gonna be an okay kill. Might not even need to use the Chronosphere on Axe. There's a vision on him.
Yeah. Misery's like, hey, what's up? What are you doing here, Void? Oh, nothing. All right, just farming. Mind Control's going to be following him around the map a little bit now. Keep that Empower going.
Radiant's bottom tower
Void.
is under attack.
Under an Obs and Sentry again, or the range creep hits him, so he knows there's vision here now. And a lot of space for Misery. Axe gets that bottom lane, so fully free farm. He'll realize now that the warders camp, the camp is warded.
That's something that I sometimes say. A bit dyslexic, but Axe having only 1 point in call, getting closer to a Blink Dagger, you know, just maxing out your counter helix, also getting level 10, like 16-second cooldown that only lasts for 2 seconds.
Dire are scanning.
Having an extra point in a call could make a big difference, especially if you need to burst hero like a Faithless Void.
Oh, for sure, stopping him from getting his Time Walk off.
Dire's middle tower
Pretty
is under
pivotal here.
attack.
5 men. Put their Puck and Axe over towards some ancient stacks. This should give Misery his Blink Dagger now. It looks like Chessie's the one just guarding and defending this Act as he farms.
Radiant's top tower
Team
is
Nigma,
under
they see
attack.
the Spectre down
Dire's
bottom.
bottom tower
Dire
is
Observer
under
Ward's doing
attack.
work. They all TP here, but it doesn't look like they're going to smoke or actually make a move for it. Just a Shadow Blade from Miracle from that bot lane in towards mid. And it's kind of a bit of deja vu, bit of reminiscing about game 1, where Nigma were always what feels like a step behind. They're not preemptively thinking about what they need to do, but they're just waiting for their opponents to put themselves in a position that they can react to.
We did not see Chronosphere for like 5+ minutes. They could not find any openings. Faithless Void going for Silver Edge to break the Spectre, has some status resistance against the call and all of these slow/stuns. And we see Invoker putting some extra points in Exort, going for that Aghanim Scepter, so there will be Cataclysm maxed out by the time he gets it. But 5 men, they're using smoke, they're chasing. Like, what they want to do is get a pick off, maybe 2 kills if possible, and just turn that into Roche Pit. Spectre with Manta Style is just doing so much damage. She's actually just going to start attacking Roche right now.
Hell yeah, why not? They've cleared out that dire jungle. They know no one's there. They've got a high ground observer with scouting. They've got plague balls to give vision. And this is the thing, this is kind of what I was trying to say, is the 5 men, they're the ones dictating where this game's going. They're the ones smoking, making the first move. And Nigma are just reacting, and they never get to play their own game.
This is dangerous. Roche, they will get it on times. Spectre will pick it up unless she gets passed like 4 times in a row.
Oh, Misery's that bodyguard up on the front line, and they jump with the puck as well. Just a Waning Rift and all the way. The cast is jumping, and the Chrono's onto 2. They do get a couple of good targets. Sunray is not going to do a whole hell of a lot of the skewer. They'll cancel it out, and Enigma, they get 2 kills, but they don't stop Roshan from falling.
Once.
Aegis is on the floor. Aegis, oh, yo. Aegis is on the floor inside Roche Pit.
Ace did not pick it up.
Ace, hello?
I didn't even notice it.
Are they going to notice? Are they going to oh my god.
Immortality.
Oh my fucking god. What?
I know what Ace was doing. He was swapping things around, and he had a couple of healing salves in his inventory. Just wanted to salve up. Did not pick it up.
Man, I saw Roshan die, and as I was saying, Nigma couldn't stop Roshan from dying. I clicked on Ace to be like, oh look, he's got the Aegis, and then I click on him and he doesn't have it. And this panic moment where I think Roshan's still alive. What's
There was
happened?
no one here. Like, there was no one around the Roche Pit that tried to go in. You just did not notice that he does not have Aegis.
Well, that is disastrous for 5 men right now. Giving Faceless Void a free Aegis. Chrono up in a minute and a half, but I don't think he cares. Straight onto Misery he goes. The Sunstrike misses, but who gives a damn? The Horn comes out now as they dive onto Zibe. Faceless Void trying to go wild on it, but the Dream Coil holding back the Magnus and the Witch Doctor, and Spectre turns, facing off against this Mind Control who gets used up now, stopped in his tracks, and no skewer, so he's forced to RP. Supernova's there, so Miracle can't get into the fight, and the chase is on. 5 men are still doing it. They've got the damage, and they can keep on going if they want. Spectre gets cold snapped, and the puck blinks away. But Venomant's come in. He's got a Gale forward onto Wii. They've clumsy netted him, and he's gone. Nigma, even with that Aegis, still falling apart and crumbling to pieces.
What is going on in this game,
I
Gary?
don't know. Look at us.
Oh man, it would have been such an, I would say, easy game for 5 men if Spectre, instead of Faceless Void, just picked up Miracle, mid lane, Neon Disc proc.
Yeah, great item pickup by Jesse against that Faceless Void especially.
So, you know, this will follow you throughout your whole career. You will be remembered by the guy who did not pick up Aegis.
Oh, dearie me.
You know why we're here, Gary? To have fun, for our viewers to have fun, and I think they're having their portion of fun right now.
I'm sure Twitch chat is going to go absolutely mental in a second. Oh, that sudden moment of realization. As we do watch the replay back of the tail end of that team fight, or the second or third team fight that happened around the Roche Pit. The chase from 5 men is spectacular. They've got Phoenix Dive, they've got Blink and Ult and Puck, Dagger and Haunt. Venomancer even has a Force Staff now to allow him to close the gap onto targets.
You know why I didn't notice it? Because I kind of have high expectations for pro players to pick up Aegis.
Same.
Like, yeah, he definitely has it. Like, there's no reason for me to click it.
Yeah, the only reason that I realized was because I clicked on Ace and realized he didn't have it as I was mid-sentence talking about him having it. Oh, Silver Edge for Miracle now. Nigma all grouping up around the Void, who has Chrono back up. And Aegis, I guess, is going to be reclaimed in like a minute, because it was on the floor for a fair bit.
A minute and 20 seconds, yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Like, I played with the Misery in a couple of teams.
Radiant
I know that he has changed, but still, I can hear him saying things, or just knowing how he feels when he realized that his carry did not pick up Aegis there.
A little bit upset. Just a little bit upset.
Double damage, bottle up on Faceless Void. Aegis still up and running for 50 seconds.
Radiant's
Well,
middle
if you didn't
tower
pick up
It's left-
Aegis,
it's
maybe
left,
you
right?
didn't even time it,
Dire's bottom tower
right?
is
So
under
they don't know
attack.
when it's gonna expire.
Dire's
So like Aegis is
structures are
reclaimed
fortified.
from when Roshan dies, right? Not from when the Aegis is picked up.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure it was on the floor for like 20-30 seconds, so it's probably going to expire very soon. We'll see.
Dire's courier
There's 5
has
men
been
now
killed.
kind of scrambling to defend up against Nigma, who are pushing forward. A little bit of momentum as that weird Roshan fight has given something back to them in this game, which maybe they didn't quite deserve. Ace's Spectre getting huge though. Skadi on top of the Manta. Chessie's Puck can come and clear out that bottom wave as well, as Misery is farming deep in that enemy side of the map. 5 men just trying to dodge Chrono at this point, it feels like.
Spectre just tanking up with the item build. Wants to be able to survive through any kind
Dire's
of the
bottom
burst. Like
tower
the
is under
burst she needs
attack.
to be careful about is Faceless Void, Chronosphere, and the Cataclysm.
Oh,
Dire's
Void still has
bottom
Aegis, so it's from
tower
when
has
you pick it up.
fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's
Seems
bottom
so,
tower
Gary. We
is
were
under
wrong.
attack.
Well,
You guys
well
got debated in chat, didn't you?
Yeah, it was
Aegis
30
expired.
30 seconds
it
it was
took
on the floor.
Around 30 seconds to pick it up.
The dive in, Pylite dive with the poison over onto Miracle. They know Aegis is gone, but with the Meteor Hammer not landing, they don't have a stun. Still trying to keep tabs on the Void, but he still redges away from the clumsy net. The 2-man coil, it arrives. It's good for
Stolen
Chessie. If
coil.
only they can jump in, and the coil, can they turn around? GH trying to get it done, and 5 men struggling to finish anybody off. The Supernova finally comes, and they've silenced up the Miracle Void. He's dying and dropping over the dunk. It doesn't work. Somehow he gets away with his life. We will finally fall as Miracle has got life still up on these creeps. GH is chased by Chessie. In comes the puck again. The blink to the high ground. GH is out of there, and RMN trying to retreat as well. Dagger following Miracle as he still holds on to Chrono. The blink pull. Misery's in there. A great initiation now as this spin
might kill himself.
goes to work.
He's gonna kill
Chrono
himself.
does nothing.
Is under attack.
Nigma falling apart. Oramen's about to die to a Meteor Hammer. 5 men are about to 2-0 Team Nigma at this point.
Oh, 2 blade melts plus the
Dire's
dispersion
middle
actually
tower
killing
is under
Faceless Void. He
attack.
popped that Satanic, but not enough lifesteal coming out because of the item build that Spectre went for. Eye of Scotty, and there was also a Spirit Vessel on him, so it was like he
Dire's
didn't
middle
even have
tower
it.
has fallen.
And they've got no buybacks, Lacoste. Your 19,000 net worth Faceless Void is dead for 40 seconds. They skewer and snap the coil under the tier 4. The Spectre is stuck, but they need everything. RP's there. She's so damn tanky. Still has 11-1 charges. The man is still on the 4th step to get away. Ace is dead. The streak is gone. And an outplay will keep Nigma in this game and in the tournament for now. All the deny.
Doing so much.
What is happening? He hits the Magnus twice and lets
then
him die to
stops.
poison. What is going on?
It was a big play where they snap a stolen coil and then land RP near the tier 4 tower and have enough damage. Spectre also, when she was about to pop the Manta style, her mana got burned and did not have enough to get rid of the cold snap.
This is special. Dota 2 is a special video game. And I'm enjoying every second of it. Oh my goodness gracious me. Miracle working on MKB. We scouting out Pylite Die and Misery. Gets the tornado onto the Phoenix and the Sunray from GH. Burning through Pylite Die, but a Supernova into the call. Blinking on GH now. The Sunstrike from Wee will chip away a little bit of HP. But they've also caught the Void. The Supernova landed. The stun is there. The Meteor Hammer comes. And the control from the Dream Coil actually onto both of them. Invoker and Void, they're in a lot of trouble. They bash the heal. Titanic's there and Miracle turns it around. Nigma finally having something go their way, but a horn in from Ace. The Spectre arrives. It's the pos one. Joe now, but he's struggling to stick on targets. They need the all forward and some waning rifts here. The Yule's up into the air. The Invoker sends skyward. The Cyclone comes. And the jump forward again. Chessie doesn't have any more stuns. Disabling Wee is a very difficult task as the slowed down Spectre can't give chase any further, but they've got what it takes. It's the Sunray from Pylite Die to finally bring the Invoker to his knees.
They might not have a lot of stuns, but They have a lot of slows coming out from Spectre, Battle Hunger, Venomancer, Dive, you name it. And I liked how Miracle just turned and actually decided to man-fight. He had almost no HP, but then popped the Satanic back to full HP. But also love to see any kind of dispel on Faceless Void. Maybe you might start thinking about... I'm not sure if getting a Mantis style here is a correct choice, since you already have SNY. Could disassemble it. Or you might get a BKB, because
Radiant's
this
middle
Spirit
tower is
Vessel,
under attack.
we saw how strong it is if you don't have a way of getting rid of that.
Even having like Manta to try and dodge the Blink call could be useful. As Misery with Blink, Yule's Blade Mail has really been one of the primary factors of the undoing of Team Nigma here. Roshan respawned though, scouted by Dire Courier and by Misery's face. Just walking straight into the pit. And everybody outside of Spectre has their ultimate ready.
Only 2 heroes with buyback. That's Invoker and Faceless Void. How many Eon Discs do we have? 1 on Phoenix,
Radiant
1 on
are
Puck.
scanning.
So that should be enough to survive throughout the initial burst of the Chronosphere.
People are just casting spells randomly. Zibe uses Poison Nova. No one really
There's
near
also
him.
one Eon Disc on Rubik as well.
Very nice. And we trying to scout into the pit with Sunstrikes. They spot Misery. Moving forward, they catch the axe. Dealing out Berserker's Call with self-fuels. Can he blink away? He can. Dodging the skewer, in fact. The tornado misses just barely. Scraping past the backside of the axe.
Old man still has it.
Still got the moves. Well, Ace with the horn back up. Gets a bit of time to push that bottom wave. Stop the catapults from coming. And the face-off again across this river. Roshan, most important objective on the map right now for this Spectre and the Void. So therefore, the rest of the teams have got to guard them up as they look towards it. Supernova, level 3. That's a tanky Phoenix. 3,000
really is.
HP. Holy crap.
They need Faceless Void to actually hit the egg if they want to kill it. Smoke from 5 men. Spectre, you know, just being at the bottom, doesn't need to be in a smoke because of the haunt. We'll scout things out inside the pit, see if they're doing it. Courier.
Oh, Chessie. Really playing with fire there, toying with danger. Miracle pops into Invis. Roshan not being done because Ace is still hitting some jungle creeps.
It's better to hit jungle creeps than to hit Roshan and not pick up Aegis.
I would have to agree with you there, Lacoste. They did a good job shoving out the bottom wave, so GH has to show his face down there for a second. But we're running out of smokes and we're running out of these surprise initiation methods. This one here from 5 men. It's got to work out for them. And that, honestly, this is the kind of fight that could win you a series. They're 1-0 up. Tournament lives on the line here for Team Nigma.
Ooh, Spec Prism found by both teams. I guess you give that one to Puck, lower the cooldown on the abilities. Miracle is in a good spot.
Oh, the chrono, he does get it, but only onto Misery. That's not ideal. The Cataclysm comes with a horn into the back. They're trying to focus down onto Invoker and the supporting cast. The RP lands on Ace. They stun up Zibe as well. The Maldigan Deathward coming in towards the Spectre. They're focusing down Ace, but he's so damn tanky. The Maldigan is surely going to pop him now, though, as RMN trades his life. Now back to Miracle, silver edging and running forward. Gets used up. There's Magnus being pummeled by the Venom on the Puck. We gonna get chased down as well, but no reveal to see that Invoker. And Faceless Void comes back in again. 2 for 2. But Void being alive gives Nigma what feels like the advantage.
Without Spectre, they don't have enough damage to deal with the Faceless Void.
So they're going to try and turn off the GH. They use up the void and they're focusing the room. All the way, yeah, they're drawn out. GH survives. Misery's down. Zippy still standing ground, trying to battle through, but GH taking so long to die. The gem is on the deck, and Puck will have no option but to try and run away. Get the gem and run away. Get the gem and run away. He's broken.
With his life.
He has Wind Rift, he has Orb, he has Blink. The Blink away, now the Orb out, and he's safe and sound. Chessie's fine.
Saving that gem is pretty big. They have 1, 2, 3 invis heroes, and now Fizz Void, he can run inside a pit and just solo kill the Roche. Finally, an item that's gonna give him a defensive ability. Doesn't need to care about silences. BKB queued up on Miracle, also level 25 backtrack talent. If you get that Aegis, still 6k gold lead for 5 men, but once they pick up that Aegis, it's gonna be really hard for them to actually kill Miracle.
Really bloody hard. She's on Invoker as well. Struggles for 5 men start now. They had a pretty monumental net worth lead, up to 10k or so. Only 4 or 5 minutes ago. That has come plummeting down as Nigma mounting their comeback. I think 5 men really have to focus much more on defending the Spectre. Ace is just going in, trying to hunt the back lines, and the rest of his team are dealing with Void.
Yeah, the only defensive tool item that they have is Sunray and Force Staff on Venomancer. That's pretty much it. No Glimmer Caves.
Use up, stops the call. 5 men thought they could get in there. They're going to hold for it, Dream Coil, and they do move forward, trying to pick off. And with a Corona there onto the puck, and the Cataclysm landing, but Eon Disc gives Jessie safe and sound as the Supernova also utilized here. So Miracle's back in for round 2. Big ulti's down for 5 men. Chrono not ready, of course, for the boy, but he's got Aegis, he's got Satanic, he's just chasing into Misery. And now the RP. Mind Control lands it on the 2 targets they want. Venomancer is done for as well. Now Ace on the run out. Chessie trying to buy some time for Inspector. Slowed down a little bit by the ice wall on the way through. Tornado up as well. And he's in a 1 versus 4. Ace, where are you going to go? You've been broken by the Silver Edge. Lifted up by GH. Chessie's trying to come in, and they've stunned up Wing. It's a lot of damage, but he's off the G's. Heals back up to almost full, but Ace is broken once more, and Miracle, he is hungry for battle.
Oh, not sure what that was, but it feels like this is a game-losing move for 5 men, where they try to initiate on Faceless Void and then keep chasing. Spectre uses a Haunt, gets a solo kill on Witch Doctor, that's fine, comes back to the battle, but as you said, they need to play more around that Spectre. They need to take care of her, because once broken, she just dies.
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, just getting melted. Maledict plus the Silver Edge break. I think Maledict has played a big part here. That Witch Doctor doing exceptionally well against the Spectre when she is isolated like that. Chessie trying to toy with them, but they've jumped into the back. That's the tier 4s, forcing Eels up. Miracle still holding Aegis for another 2.5 minutes, going for these Barret mid, clearing up an entire lane. And Team Nigma, they've brought that net worth disadvantage down to 0 and even a slight lead for themselves.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower
is AFK.
Waiting for the tier 2 to die. Repair kit comes out early on, and they're trying to kite this Void with the Yule Scepters they've got and deal with that creep wave with the Puck's AoE damage. But even a repair kit not defending up against double catapult and the Alacrity Void as Miracle has Chronosphere once more. Zippy, dangerous place to be, but they jump in with Chessie, lifts up the puck, can't finish him off, and the Chronosphere lands it onto 2 of the Cataclysm, Misery and Zippy, both about to fall. They've cleared them both up, and one doesn't have buyback. Venomancer returns as the Spectre does dive very deep with the help of Supernova. Maybe they can swing this fight, and they get the Poison Over out. But RP Miracle has to run away. Can't fight into the RP. The Ice Wall will try and slow the advance here of 5 men, but Miracle jumps back in. The Void wants to fight. Yule's into Meteor Hammer, landing and connecting onto the Void, but he's so tanky. Even with the poison, the damage of a time, he battles through and pulls the Spectre off. Miracle with a double kill now, and he's going to go for more than triple for your Void. Give him the Ultra. Miracle, the one-man faceless Void show now. It's Nigma looking to close this one out. 3 heroes with no buyback on 5 men. Phoenix and Puck with so much left to do.
Radiant's middle
Yeah,
tower
I believe
is
this is
under
game
attack.
Gary. Faceless
Radiant's
Void
middle
with
tower
Alacrity
has
has
fallen.
enough to actually go for the throne. Still Aegis up and running for 40 seconds. Only 2 heroes alive.
And the
The
buyback
Magnus
from
flying
Magnus.
back.
Is he going to buy a boost of travel?
Yeah, he's gonna buy Boots of Throne. He sold his
Pipe?
full pipe and now coming back just to give some extra damage.
Hell yeah. Let's go kill Jesse. Chase him now. Focus tier
Radiant's middle
4s.
tower has
Onto the
fallen.
throne we go. Buyback from Wii as well. Trying to TP out to the outpost and sprint into this mid lane. They need to finish this game. Repair is there and Jesse with a double kill. DH gone. Faceless Void gonna get called up now. Dragging back towards the fountain. They've got Magnus and Void with Invoker arriving soon. Meteor Hammer's about to land, but he time walks away from it. Still focusing the throne, hitting the building.
can't stun it.
Repair kit, keeping 5 men in the game, and the blade call catches both the blade mail. Void is still alive. He got a Satanic off just in time. Silence up with the Dream
Keep
Course
hitting the
now.
throne, keep
But the
hitting it.
throne
That's
is
it.
falling. That is game. GG is called, and Nigma tying things up 1-1 in this series. That was almost a 2-0 loss for them, though.
It was a close.